Guys, these pistachio cookies are next level chewy, gooey, chocolatey, and nutty all at the same time. Now, I'm on the hunt for that perfect cookie, and this is just another delicious step along the way. I have added some extra almond flour to this pista cookie just to bring home that extra chewiness. So here's how I made these. Start off by browning the butter. Get the butter melting over a medium heat. Once it's melted, let it keep heating. You will see it starting to foam up a little. Swirl the pan around every now and then and keep heating it. Slowly, you will start seeing the milk solids caramelize and brown. This is what we're looking for. And as the butter gets that deep color, switch off the heat. This whole process will take about 10 minutes or so, but don't leave the butter unattended because it might burn too much. Brown butter not only has the most amazing deep rich color to it, it will also have a nuttiness about it that will elevate your cookie to another level. And my gosh, it smells so good. Once the butter has browned, pour it into a bowl and pop this in the fridge for about half an hour or so to cool back down. Make sure to scrape up all the browned bits from the saucepan and add it to the bowl as well, because these are the best bits. While the brown butter is cooling down, chop up the pistachios. Use roasted pista if you have any, but if you don't, just lightly toast it up in a pan. Chop it up so that you have slightly bigger pieces of nuts and some fine bits as well. Then chop up some dark chocolate. Do this also into rough chunks in varying sizes. Having big and small bits of pista and chocolate helps you get that nice variety in each bite. Pools of chocolate and the crunch of the nuts, and the more subtle bits ripple through as well. Once the brown butter has cooled down, pour this into your mixing bowl. Now, when you brown butter, a lot of the water evaporates. To compensate for that, just add in a knob of butter to the mixing bowl as well. And then go in with the brown and white sugar and a teaspoon of salt. Get this mixing with a paddle attachment on a medium speed. If you're doing this by hand, just use a whisk. Check out my previous video for olive oil chocolate chip cookies for how to make cookies without a mixer. I'll link it for you. Let the butter and sugar beat together for about 3 to 4 minutes, and as it's becoming a little pale in color, add in the egg. Continue mixing this on a medium speed until the egg is mixed in and the batter has this glossy golden color to it. It will be speckled with dark brown bits, but don't worry about these. It's the browned milk solids that's going to give your cookie just that much more flavor. Give the bowl a quick scrape down to ensure that there are no lumps of sugar at the bottom. Now add in the bicarb, vanilla, the flour and the almond flour. Using a combination of all-purpose flour and almond flour is what's going to give this cookie that extra chewy texture. And then give this a quick mix on a medium speed just until the flour is incorporated into the batter. Maybe 30 to 45 seconds should do. Be careful not to overwork the batter. In fact, stop mixing while there's just a tiny bit of flour still left and finish this off by hand using a rubber spatula. If you're worried about overworking the batter, just fold the flour in by hand rather than using the mixture. The reason we are concerned about overworking the batter is because it will affect the texture of the cookie once it's baked. You have to always be very gentle and light-handed, especially when working the flour into the wet ingredients. It's the same for cookies and cakes as well. And then go in with the chopped pistachios, the dark chocolate chunks, and the milk chocolate chips. Don't add in all the nuts and the chocolate in though. Save just a little bit to sprinkle on top of the cookies just before baking. Gently stir this into the cookie batter. Once the cookie dough is ready, cover with some cling film and chill the dough. Either for 30 minutes in the freezer or 1 hour in the fridge. Of course, overnight is always better because it helps the gluten to relax and that will give your cookie a nicer texture. But I'm impatient, so 30 minutes in the freezer was all I was willing to wait. While the dough is chilling, Preheat the oven to 170°C and line a baking pan with some parchment paper. Scoop out the cookie dough onto the lined baking pan, leaving a gap in between each dough ball because it will flatten out and spread out as it bakes. Sprinkle some of the pistachio, especially the tiny crumb-looking bits, on top of the cookies, and then top each cookie with some additional chocolate chips and chunks. Sprinkle a tiny bit of coarse sea salt on top and then pop this in a preheated oven to bake. For these pistachio chocolate chunk cookies, 12 to 13 minutes in the oven is more than enough. Take it out of the oven and let it cool down in the baking tray. As it cools down, the cookie will harden up a little, leaving you with a chewy outside, a soft, gooey inside, with the perfect amount of chocolate and pista in each bite. Try these at home and get on the pista trend that's taking over the world right now. Bye!